On the opposite side for Vegas Legion, at least with this new squad, they're sitting at 2-0 on this map, so they found something on sub-base. Hopefully they can show it here.
Yeah, I think maybe that one thing is simply to put that Johnny's in the mix. And he has played pretty well, considering that, you know, it's been a very recent stint. He had the one game of the qualifier, one game of the major, but hey, you know, he has looked pretty good overall. It just comes down to making it all work fully. Johnny for first blood. Talk about him and he shall appear, but Optic very slow on their opening approach. They'd love to just figure out the high ground situation and then find ways to catapult themselves on towards the hill.
Yeah, they just don't spawn on the preferred side going into this initial P1 hill. So you have to find a couple exit kills on the way on out, but all of Las Vegas, they have been able to execute that hold to perfection. Holding down top comms, having no one push out towards warehouse side is also a big play, but you best believe with Nero in that position, he's the guy that's watching that cut.
Yeah, and that may be one of the biggest influence players that we need to see really step up here for Vegas. He has been great in his history at times, being the X factor for previous teams. And how about here? Shuts down the rotation towards the P2 side. A couple of kills for Optic over the old Hardpoint, though, kind of neutralized that. And even though it's a 39-1 start, Vegas find themselves at the wrong time, spawning on the wrong part of the map, and Attach just has to sit here and play his life.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario to drop in the final 5 seconds of that old hill, because now all of Vegas Legion are forced to break in towards P2 now. But Optic Texas, even with them having a couple players on that side of the map, they are still yet to work that objective because they know they do not have the spawns all in their favor. The whole kill feed is going to be white. Geo having such a great start to this game already at 5-1. He finds 3 to potentially secure the spawns, but Optic Texas, they spawn right in the back there, but it reinforce.
Yeah, huge kill from Kenny. Keeps his hard point largely. The game clock has won it. Not a lot of time for either one of these two teams, but Vegas from the front will get the reinforcements up. Now it's just fighting back against this oncoming hit from Texas, but honestly, it's taken some time. It looks like they're trying to figure out where is Nero gone to, and while they're structuring the hit, the kills are looking good. Geo over the top of the forklift can't find the final, but hey, think about it, is Attach is right there to pick up, and this has been a fantastic start for Vegas.
Yeah, this is perfect. It doesn't get any better than this. Obviously, if you don't die in the first 5 seconds at that P1, you're gonna got a little bit more time there at that P2 HP. But now Optic Texas spawning all the way across the map. No cruise missiles to work with. Shotzzy doesn't even have a kill. What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I really don't. Wish I could tell you, but flat out, this is just Vegas putting on a masterclass. Good patience, good concentration, and just good composure all the way through. It's definitely shades of what we saw the potential for Vegas early on into the season. Last player left alive is Dashy. Geo's there for the trade, and with the spawns, Vegas can just casually walk their way back into the hard point.
Yeah, so this final 30 is going to be theirs. If you are Optic Texas, you have to find something to stop the bleeding. It might be Shotzzy getting his first kill of the map. Tech can try to chain something together, but Vegas Legion coming out swinging so far. First 3 hills have been all theirs. Johnny starting to roar a little bit. He finds that 3rd kill with only 4 HP left. And now if you are Optic Texas, you're already allowing a couple players from Vegas Legion out, which you don't want to happen.
Yeah, Geo out 4 in a row. Trying to line up the shots at range against Pred. Difficult to be sure. Can't quite find the connection. But that told. Lots of focus towards Attach on ult. There's Geo popping out for number 5. Cannot stay alive to try to earn himself a cruise missile. But again, these little 1v1s as the hard point opens up keeps Optic from finding time. So even though Vegas are losing rotation, they're still neutralizing the time. This has been all in all pretty darn good for Vegas through P2 and now here on P4.
And now if you are Optic Texas with the back spawns and you now have all the control of the map and exactly where Vegas Legion are going to attack from, you need this 35 seconds to make up some much needed time. Shotzzy, 1-13. He was our MVP of Major 3, able to get his 2nd kill on the board. He's just not having a start that everyone expects.
Getting caught, just simply put. Timing-wise, he's just trying to make a route happen. He's just getting flat-out caught by Vegas and their patience. But like you mentioned, the back scrap time, important here for Optic just to try to get this thing more to manageable terms, and so far, so good. Kenny up top P2. Good look towards Johnny. Doesn't quite see the player crossing below him, but is able to find Geo. No worries. And even though Shotzzy started slow, Kenny has been impressive, and that continues to be the case until he meets Nero at range.
Yeah, it's still a 50-point game, so if you are Optic Texas, let's try to keep this P5 a little bit staggered. But with all the kills not going in their favor, and they do not have the spawns over towards next, so Vegas Legion can continuously run up that scoreboard. None of the kills are just going in their favor, man. Every single gun by Vegas Legion are clutching on up.
Might be one of those things that the recent MCW buffs really help out this Vegas team, especially picking up Johnny, who has been a strong flex player There is time in challengers. Now you've got the support of both Nero, Geo, and Attach all working. It's a team wipe that comes through. Vegas currently find themselves on a huge team streak, and with it, the lead grows back to about 100 points.
And now they're already winning a rotation over towards next. They know exactly where all of Optic Texas are trying to execute their play from. Nero from up top drops down low, finds that kill onto Kenny. And now Shotzi, he's trying to hit a water up, but everyone is dropping around him. Vegas Legion, enough from us. Let's go to a listen. I'm curious to see how the hell they are sounding.
I'm getting away from the top.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll look tunnel. I have tunnel.
Yeah, but you're tunnel. Yo,
I
left.
think you're long. Let's get shit.
I'm on the
open.
I think you're long.
Yo,
I hear long. I hear long.
What do I have all tunnel? I have all tunnel in front
I'm
of it.
I don't have your long.
Yo,
anymore.
DK, you want up the street? You want up
Yo,
the street?
P5, came out weak. Shot in front already.
I'm
weak. Turn to
Time.
Coming for time.
I'm pushed up right, guys. I'm pushed up right.
One shot closet. You went long. It's like Kenny.
I have all right.
He's on time.
I'm cutting for server.
Two on time, I think.
Top server, Shotzi.
Top. Charlie. All right, yo, one's on time, one's green.
I need backside time. Let's get shit.
Top server.
I don't
One's
see that green.
oh, he's on the green door.
Oh, top server.
Top dead.
Alright, make sure you stay alive, P2, whoever that is.
One shot top server.
20 mind you.
Stay alive, DK. Yeah.
The bottom.
Go 15, go 15, go
Bottom on me,
15.
Shotzi.
I'm pushing
I'm
closet.
sitting secret. I'm
Yeah,
sitting
they
secret.
jumped on me. There's two. Print on time. You're good. Just make sure we have the spawn.
Got two.
Shit.
Left hand time. We're looking for one. We're looking for Kenny
I'm
after
still
this.
missing there. He's still
I'm playing
back
back
on
P2.
server.
He's playing
Back
P2.
server, guys.
In the back, Shotzi.
It's Kenny. There's two more back there.
I'm going top.
I'm wrapping the right.
Shit.
Take your time. I'm wrapping P1. Give me a sec.
I'll get time if you need me.
Good shit.
I'm one shot
I'm coming.
I pushed too long on you.
I'm inside.
Okay, you're good on that. Oh, one's low.
Get time. Get time.
Okay. I'll get time in a second. I'll get time now. Three. Nice, good shit. Back on me.
Get secret if you need
Yeah,
to.
I'm gonna-
I have three. There's three there.
I'm getting inside.
Take him up you.
I'm one shot.
They like going top three. Don't hold it. I go on.
Got one.
That's one
I'm
stop.
one shot. Get
I
time.
have all top three. I have all top three hops.
I'm getting away. Yo, he's going.
He's very weak.
Just focus. Yeah, focus.
Bring your time.
Yeah, we flip. That's good. I got
Can you hold top P5 10?
Get that whole time. I'm going to take it out.
Got me, DK.
What's front of me?
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. I'm giving you a second.
Alright, what's front hop? Front hop.
Go. Tiger weak, actually. Top up, dead. Tiger weak. And there's two old.
Do all hear
On
that.
new.
Yeah, there's two on
new weak. We're good.
What is he new?
He was back new. All right.
Okay, he saw me go left.
All right. I'm going right.
Sure.
All right. Take your time. I'm gonna.
One old Fred.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Literally one bullet old. Fred.
Kenny
Get him
back
on
rings.
top.
Yeah, he probably did. I'm gonna chomp.
Fred dead.
Top. Stash you weak. Got him. That's two. That's two. All right. Let's work it.
I can shake this too.
We can be top.
I'm shaking.
Still spawning back there.
Back right there, Fred.
I'm team back right.
All time. 120 lockers and two backside time.
Yo, I'm gonna pinch this. I'm gonna try and spawn him out right here.
I killed you. Two lockers.
I'm behind him. Give me a sec.
I got one shot locker. One spawn up. Back in two.
One spawn out.
Yeah.
One's front. Front of
Kenny and Dashi lockers. Actually, down.
I'm playing deep.
Shotzi's in tunnel.
One's underneath me.
Shotzi tunnel. One's lockers.
Fred. I got one shot.
What's open?
I have left.
That's that tunnel all dead.
Let's get shit.
We're missing
I'm
one.
gonna push tunnel right here. We're looking for one. Hold that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like they're vibing. They're putting all the right calls together. That P4, or P3 rather, a little unfortunate off the cruise missile for Vegas. Allows Optic a window to get back in, but still the lead, the cushion, good. And now the rotation as well, Jay, looking solid for Vegas.
Yeah, I'm loving the way that they're sounding, man. Keep in mind that this roster's only been together for 3 matches before this one on their hands. So you have to work on that chemistry aspect, but everybody was calming. The cutoff kills are being watched. Everything is just sinking right now for Vegas as Geo finds himself on 3 in a row. Single-handedly shuts down that early break there from Optic Texas, but it's still a 60-point game.
Fred down low, able to find a beat down, but Nero up top. Oh, 5 in a row with the prediction on the second. And all of a sudden, Vegas will get past the 200-point mark. And Nero can just stay here, play cutoff, see if he can earn himself a cruise missile. Hasn't been able to track it down yet, but does find it versus Kenny. It's another 3-for-1 kill feed. Vegas looking good for the scrap, unless Shotzi can find a way to pop up the ladder, find a couple, break the scrap. It feels like a necessity. He'll only get one, though, and now Vegas a chance to win the game.
Yeah, Vegas in the perfect opportunity. They have the spawns off the rotation towards P5. They just do not have that set up currently. No cruise missiles are going to be easily led to this early break for them, so you have to get this done with the gunny. Attach already sitting through top comms. He finds that initial kill. Here comes Nero with that cruise missile. It's about that time for Vegas Legion to try to take map 1.
This time it will land. Shotzzy the one to drop. Pred staying alive up top at Warehouse, though. A critical position for Optic, but Johnny guns him out of the window. Oh boy, trophy system gets placed. Dashed in a little bit of trouble, but does not get stunned. Maybe a chance for him to weasel his way in, find a couple of kills, pistols out, but the supply of help from Attach, so darn good. Vegas are gonna clean the floor, and wow. Talk about an opening. One more chance for Optic to break. Shotzzy would have to do it on a 14-31 map. Vegas shut him down and steal away a bread and butter pick for Optic Texas.
That is unbelievable, Alan. That is unbelievable. Everybody in the world had this one checked off. Optic Texas sitting at 11-0. No way in hell that they're going to lose a sub base to a roster that's only been together basically like 3 weeks. But somehow, some way, Vegas Legion just came out of the gate swinging. They dominated the P1. They chained it over to the P2. Even with Optic Texas finding a couple kills, they just couldn't work that objective. You allow Vegas Legion to instantly work their way back in, still a lot of that time away from you, but they were just always ahead of the game. Obviously, Shotzzy didn't have a great performance, but neither did Dashy. On a map like Subbase, where those ARs need to be felt, neither player from Optic Texas was in a position to find a couple kills in a row to try to stop the bleeding, because Vegas Legion were just covering so much ground, everyone going positive. Johnny had his moments. Nero dropped 2 cruise missiles at different points in the game, but Gio, he was the shining light from start to finish of that match. Every time Vegas Legion needed something to happen, it was him either clutching up in a double, finding a triple, easily leading to the break. And if you're Vegas Legion, this is your opportunity now, because you're only sitting at 110 points so far. You need to try to get this win, especially at this moment, because with Optic Texas, when you're playing against some of the top 4 teams in this stage, they're all about testing their map pool. And the only thing that's going to scare me now is that this was Optic's map. The next 2, which is 6-star, Search and Destroy, they have yet to play it at least a lot. They only have 2 reps on it, and the high-rise control has been their bread and butter band all season long. They are trying to now add that, so this is the opportunity where Vegas Legion can try to make up some points.
I mean, that stat right there is the most incredible thing. I mean, it has been a flawless map that has been a regular occurring map for Optic. On average, they're beating teams by 70 points on this map. So for the fact that Vegas are looking at this matchup, like you mentioned, they need the points. Maybe there's an opportunity to steal away a map or 2, but you're not thinking you're going to steal away the series. But to sit there and say, we're going to let Optic pick Subbase, and then come out and win it with a roster that has played this map now 3 total times, that is 34 counts of criminal, no matter which way you put it. Unbelievable start for Vegas, and like you said, the next 2 maps start to really build their favor.
Yeah, so now if you are the Texas backs against the wall, it seems like they just got caught slipping right off the rip. Like, Shotzzy didn't get a kill until he's about 0-10. Dashy was sitting at almost triple negative. The guns weren't just warmed up for Optic. Obviously, if you're that Major IV champion, you walked away yesterday versus Miami, you're thinking, oh, it's going to be all clean and dandy throughout this stage. We're the best team in the game. But when you get caught slipping like this, now you are forced to sit up in your chair, probably turn your monitor on a little bit, because you got to lock in for this game too.
Big time. Well, the good news here, I think, at least for the side of Optic fans, is that 6-star Search and Destroy may not necessarily be your go-to, but on the other side, Vegas have been miserable at Search and Destroy. They have only won a single map, and it was a 6-4 versus Boston. A couple of round 10 losses here and there, but again, since this team has reformed, they have had to refigure out what they want to do in Search and Destroy, and that's been the biggest question mark about how quickly that could come with Vegas still in the hunt for playoffs.
And that's the biggest thing, is that when you're a team that just makes a roster change, you only played 3 matches together, S&D is going to have some kinks to it. You have to work out a bunch of these situational plays, and it's nothing better than playing against a team who's also working on things on a map like 6-star. So if you are Vegas Legion, one thing that you definitely need to fix on is your plant scenario. You're the best team at getting the bomb down on 6-star. But for some reason, you're one of the worst teams in post-plant scenario. So setup's got to be a lot better. Hopefully with the chemistry and the practice that's going in throughout the last couple of weeks after Major 3, they should be a little bit better.
Been a while since we've seen Optic on this map, but I think a lot of that was simply off the fact that they were trying to really enforce what they were doing on high rise and invasion. That started to kind of look really solid for them, and definitely assisted on their pathway through their run at Toronto. But now a new map gets added, and you already kind of mentioned this, you know, for our top 4 teams that are out there, you're going to see a lot more of this. It's like, especially in modes like Search and Destroy and Control, throw in your off map, see if you can find a way to get some extra reps on it, where that leaves the door open for these teams that need points to possibly pull off what we're calling upsets here.
And when you take a look at the numbers in this S&D attacking side, obviously the Death touched on it, Vegas Legion. They are literally the worst in every single category. 33% on their attack win side, 12th overall on their attacking side, which is not good. Opening dual win percentage, not the greatest. And then post-plant scenario, we touched on it a little bit. You got to make sure that those post-plant setups are going to be a lot better, because Optic Texas, one thing that they can always rely on is those retake situations, especially on the defensive side.
And the other part about this too, not to keep going back and forth, but the Vegas statistics are going to feel a lot worse than maybe they are since this roster has been put together. And I think in particular, even though they're just 1-1 on 6-star with Johnny, it's around 10 win versus Boston and around 10 loss versus Miami. And not the greatest strength in terms of who you've played, but again, they're getting reps in competitive form on these maps that we're going to see, especially these first 3. So definitely one of those things that for Vegas fans, strong as you may be out there will-wise, you find yourself kind of looking at this map too as a very possible place to go up 2-0, which I don't think anyone would have predicted based on the 2 teams on paper playing up against each other. But the map series set, plus of course the 1-0 win on sub base, allows a chance for Vegas to do the unthinkable here. So lot to call on for Optic to play a map they have not played a lot of, and try to figure out if they can add this into the arsenal in terms of map picks and their bans as we move through the rest of this year.
Yeah, you got to try to expand your map pool, especially when you get towards the later half of the year. So if you are Optic Texas, this is going to be good practice going up against this Vegas Legion squad. It always goes down to the wire on a little bit of 6-star S&D. It's them on the attacking side. Going to show a lot of presence over towards B. Not able to spot anyone on that side of the map, but Gio's just waiting, just trying to give some information to his teammates that this is where the play's coming in.
Yeah, and the deep player into Johnny is going to have to make a decision here playing over towards the aquarium. Does he want to play around the back? And ooh, maybe now he does, because Kenny dropping on the island gives maybe an off chance for Johnny to step in. And yeah, he's able to take down Dashy off screen. So now it's just the 2 players for Optic on the point. Shotzzy feels like he has to make a move with his teammate and Pred getting hit by the damage of the Dade, but still the kill comes through. A chance to hold this post plant now from the back. And this is a really powerful position for Pred to hold.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity still for Optic Texas to try to clutch up at the 4v2. You have Shotzzy going on a route. Pred also wins his 1-on-1, but now Pred left in the 1v2 with only 14 seconds left. The stun is going to connect. He's able to find that kill onto attach, but just more bodies in the right positionings for Vegas Legion. Attach starts it off by finding that 1-on-1 gunfight versus Kenny. If you're Kenny, you probably want to wait for that bomb plant to go down, potentially catch him off that rotation. Once that first blood goes down, then Johnny through that side of the AC alley finds that second kill. I don't know how the hell he found it, but Vegas Legion secured the first.
Yeah, because it looked like he was late to the gunfight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hard to say, but yeah, that route opens up and Johnny makes good use of it. Pred gives himself a hell of a chance, though, tell that much. I mean, for a 2v4, that's about as good of a situation as you can find yourself when you're for Optic, but not to be. So 3 in the round for Pred ends up amounting to nothing, as Gio and Johnny are looking to see if maybe they've scouted out something here to see if Optic will try to get aggressive here in Aquarium.
In Optic, they tend to struggle in first bloods on the defensive side, 9th overall at 37%. But when they find it, it's 100% conversion rate. So Vegas Legion have gotten a read. They don't want to give up that early first kill. Want to see if you can catch Optic Texas being a little bit aggressive up through the middle of the map, but it's already been 30 seconds wiped off the game clock. Here comes the play over towards A, and Shotzzy, he finds that first blood.
And attaches in trouble. Pred is on the hunt, sees the door pop, no worries there. Johnny keeping a lifeline available, though, through U-Haul. Just like that, we've had 2 different 4v2s turn into 2v2s. This one a little bit more hard-pressed, though, for Vegas with no bomb in hand. Shotzzy watching one side, Pred the other. And this would have to be some great bait and switching from Vegas if they were to try to find a way to get a kill and recover this bomb.
Now you can see both players are trying to split up now. At least cast the timing on what Optic Texas are trying to do on their defensive setup, but that time is starting to get away from you. Only 20 seconds left. The bomb is going to be down over towards A. Finally, you're going to put in position to at least get the info onto Pred, but this play is going to fall into the hands of Gio.
And he just doesn't have an angle on it, so Johnny has to try to step up once again. Tags are in. Gio finds the first. Shotzzy has to commit to this gunfight. Finds the first one, no problem. Gio commits for getting the bomb. Does he get down to find the kill? And oh my goodness! At the very last second, Shotzzy forced to play his ground, nearly works it back. Gio thinks about planting the bomb, but then commits for the gunfight and wins it with fractions of a second left.
Yeah, that's the only play Gio had right there, because when Shotzzy gets that kill onto Johnny, you know there's only 5 seconds left. Don't even know if he had enough opportunity to even work that objective, but he had to play for the gunfight. Thankfully, Shotzzy did not run all the way across the map through that underground alley. He stays ready for that fight, but Gio comes out on top with that MCW. That buff has done wonders to this young man so far. Vegas Legion 2-0.
Oh my goodness. Something in the air you start to feel after a round like that, but opening nades from Pred, good. The trophy also keeps this Optic hit safe at A. And Attach just has to sit here and hope his teammates can get some sort of an opening on the flank. But you can already see Optic is set up with a post plant 4v3 with everything being watched.
Yeah, this is going to be tough because Vegas Legion on this map do not have a lot of success on the retake scenarios, and they also give up the most bomb plants. So Optic Texas with that first blood put themselves in a heavy advantage, as now there's only 30 seconds left. Just waiting for Nero. Getting any info on this deep pinch. He's at least able to find one kill. Not ready for the jumper from Shotzzy. Still man advantage for Optic.
Yeah, focus towards the trophy system. Attach able to find one, but unfortunately for Gio, cannot win his 1v1 over towards that sky bridge. So Optic, well formed on their post plant setup, deal with every threat almost instantaneously, and even down 0-1 and the map count 0-2, Kenny still got smiles and laughs, so 5's still high.
Yeah, it starts off with that early nade. Once you eliminate that player over towards the A side, you instantly work that objective. You have all your bases covered and you trade effectively around that statue. So able to put one on the board is Optic Texas, but now back on the defensive side, where they found that initial first blood last go around.
Yeah.
I don't know if they gained the info that the bomb was down. That was the only thing.
Oh, trophy system out here for Vegas, trying to play this over aggressively in through U-Haul, and oh goodness, the trophy system at 8 changes, paying a bit of a difference maker already, as Vegas just absolutely throw the kitchen sink at Optic at mid. They come away with 2 kills, now a 4v2 post plant. Pred, though, timing wise, if he checks top nest, they would get a look at Gio, but now Attach could just play his life a little while longer. Shotzzy forced to have to win out a 1v4, and he will meet his maker at the hands of Johnny, who's still having himself a good series.
And that's where it comes down to that new update with those trophies, man. You get one of your trophy players to be aggressive up through the map, but there's just way too many tacks to block everything with that one trophy system. So 2 nades initially started off for Vegas Legion with that first blood, and then they instantly go over towards B. They know that Shotzzy and Pred love to play around that statue side at A. We eliminate both the AR players. That B side is going to be wide open, and they take full advantage of that moment to give themselves a nice little bit of a lead, up 3-1.
Clean stuff. I mean, comparing to what we saw from Vegas in their first couple of instances with this roster, teamwork is definitely right there where you want it to be. Good ideas, good executions to this point. This time we're going to try to see what the A retake looks like, as Optic is going to walk their way over and see absolutely no one's home here today. Just comes down to, will they use this as confidence to plant immediately? And based on Shotzzy, try to step a little bit further forward. It looks like they are looking for a first blood.
It's going to be tough, though, because Vegas Legion, they already got a lot of the map going in their favor. They cleared out B Street, realizing no players from Optic Texas are trying to go on that side of the map, and then you take mid away from them. So now you have them basically trapped over towards this A site. Johnny ends up finding that first blood, and now Optic Texas in the man disadvantage, have to try to work that objective.
Yeah, just looked like Optic thought that there was going to be a contest of the bomb itself. Kenny, decent damage into 1, finds the kill onto Johnny. Backs off, 3v3. And Nero is going to say, I'm out of here. I know Kenny's going to be watching for this flank the whole way, so let me see if I can help my teammates out through the middle of the map. But as soon as Nero is seen, Kenny will be able to come back forward and help. Shotzzy on the corner, good for the first. Shots to Gio, not enough to find the kill. 1v1 towards Dashy. Oh, and he's finessed the bomb so well. Not technically a 1v2, but give him credit for it. Dashy finds the last 2, no worries.
Yeah, you can always rely on that guy to shoot straight with that MCW. Finds that initial kill onto Nero, and then the shots onto Gio. He simply stood no chance in that gunfight. I know he got a little bit of assistance, but Dashy does not miss, especially on those kind of angles. But Optic Texas again finds success on their attacking side. Kenny this time around, though, he gets the play done, because the fact that he's able to turn around, cast the timing on 2 players trying to go for that pinch, and at least walk away with 1, it slows down Nero working his way around behind enemy lines, and by the time he gets back to his teammates, a couple players fall, just not enough time to work with.
A little bit more of a patient approach here for Vegas. 2-2 split, 2 players focused over towards Aquarium. Once again, it's the same that we saw in that high-low setup from before. But this time, Optic, they've got a player deep in the form of Pred over towards that backside palm tree at P2. Nades start to change the focus, though, for Optic. Not seeing anything towards B and hearing a lot of noise at A. There will be a stack here at U-Haul.
Yeah, this is the same exact setup they had on the last attacking round. Just double stack from Gio and Johnny through the mid side. Nero and Attach trying to work this objective, but this time Nero is going to fall to the hands of Kenny. First blood in favor of Optic Texas. They have full bomb site control, and if Shotzi could just turn to the right, make sure that that bomb is down, everyone should relocate to this side of the map, but Shotzi gets it done by himself.
Yeah, you can even see that Vegas were so worried about Shotzi playing over towards the Skybridge. They costed a stun to try to make sure that that was clear, and Shotzi makes use of a different angle. Nade in towards Kitchen. Goes a little bit too far off the bounce. But Gio with 23 seconds and Dashy looking at him through statue. Feels like a pretty impossible 1v3. He's also got the pressure on from Pred from behind. Regen starts to come through. Gio gets the first, but again, time being the biggest issue here. Kenny's going to try to search him out just a touch, but Dashy be the one who finds the final kill, and Optic find their way into a couple of rounds in a row.
That's another first blood, this time out of Kenny again. If you're Vegas Legion, I would like to see a little bit different look on the attacking rounds, because that's now 2 times where they played the same exact setup. They try to at least spread the map, slow down the game on their attacking side, so you can force Optic Texas to change their defensive look. But every time they find that first blood over towards statue, that has been the bomb carrier, and that basically calls the round there. So Vegas Legion, all tied up at 3-3, all tied up in first bloods as well. But Optic Texas starting to get activated.
Yeah. And after a couple of wide open A sites, Optic gonna try to see maybe if they get a read here. It's the same setup that Vegas is running. This little high-low SMG setup in outside of a team kill, largely forced off the damage from Nero. It will be a 2-for-1 exchange. All good news for Optic. The bomb once again clear to plant if it wants to at A, but Kenny takes an extra step, finds Attach through mid, and now they can rewrap this thing back to B, forcing Gio to have to go all the way across the map for this 1v3.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. This is going to be tough because Gio, he's going to think, all right, the play definitely is going to go over towards A. No way in hell they're going to hit that rotation over towards B. But now he gains all that info, and this round becomes a lot more difficult now with 45 seconds.
Well, he's going to have a chance to make contact here with Shotzi if he checks his corners fully. And he unfortunately will not. So, no go at that one. And now, all of a sudden, Optic starting to find their mojo on the map. And the reads, I think, just generally as far as what Vegas have wanted to do, you already mentioned it, over towards that statue bomb site on the offensive side. They've gotten really good reads of how they want to deal with that defensively. And now all of a sudden, they've gotten a read as firm of Vegas trying to play aggressive on the defense as well.
When they try to turn that corner, they literally set up for that gunfight onto shots. So you're not playing Pred in that close corner. But if you do that setup, you best believe some other teams know exactly what that's going to feel like. As Optic are able to tie the game up. At least in the first place, they're up 4-3. Back on the defensive side they go, and Vegas Legion trying to go back to that earlier attack where they found success with B pressure.
Yeah, well, the stuns that do land on top of Vegas, Pred thinks he maybe has an opportunity to take use of it, but gets shut down mostly off of the overwhelming force that Vegas had on their breakoff. And now patience for the Legion, just wanting to make sure that no one's doing anything dramatic through the A site. They're double enforcing this flank hold before they make likely a commitment over towards B.
Yeah, Kenny's just trying to play the timing, though, to potentially spot a couple players crossing through water, but Vegas Legion have not bit yet. Now they are slowly working their way up through water side. Kenny's not going to get any indication that they're on that side of the map with that nade connecting onto anyone. So that objective is going to get planted, but look at the positioning of Dashy.
He's got to make a play here. Johnny in the corner, not going to be seen, but Attach will take care of the trade. And now it's just the split hit for the side of Optic. Individual players on both sides. Kenny shut down on one side, just up to Shotzi. Better bounce back here in map number 2 compared to what he was able to do in the first, but this is a difficult 1v3. Finesses the movement around the water side bar, but he's got Gio on an absolute crazy heady. No chance whatsoever. We're tied at 4.
Yeah, it's good plays right there from Vegas Legion. That's 2 successful bomb plants over towards B, none over towards A side, so they find that initial first blood, and then they are just waiting to see if Optic Texas is going to try to make up for that kill. But once they realized no one was going on the pinch, no one has mid-map control, no one's still showing presence over towards B, we will work that objective, get the bomb down, and then trade effectively. Able to tie the game up at 4.
Trends and patterns, though, still continue to shift over the last handful of rounds towards Optic, especially what they've done on offense. Does Vegas supply the right response? Patience over towards B and mid. Trying to get Johnny a little bit closer towards A. He's got an SMG this round, so he's gonna be largely playing this cut at the Sky Bridge. Nero over the middle of the map. Also tossing a couple of nades in Sem Texas, but Texas are properly set up for it. Johnny, though, off the flank, does create a bit of chaos here for Optic. They did make a decision, and Shotzi throws a smoke and hits the back of Dashy, but does not help them at all. Johnny finds the kill down low. Now the bomb is down to this 2v2.
Still a lot of time to work with. Don't know if Johnny's going to get the info. That is going to be the bomb carrier, but Geo does fall through the middle of the map. So now the young man and Johnny trying to clutch up in the 1v2. Buddy system on the opposite side for Optic Texas, just going together there every situation as they recover that bomb site. Now it's time to work that objective.
Johnny coming back to the fight.
Oh, the timing.
Still has the rival 9. Finds the first, but it's not a clean gunfight. Optic come away with one after, again, I think the chaos that was created by Vegas was strong, but the problem was the defenders from the front side of the site fell too quickly that Johnny just kind of gets isolated and left alone over towards Skybridge.
That's exactly what it is, because once you find that Johnny's in that positioning, he was able to turn it into a 3v3, and then everyone at that point from Vegas Legion were trying to assist him, not leave him out to dry by himself. So they try to apply that pressure through mid connector, and Optic Texas made them pay for it. But Johnny almost secures that round there for Vegas Legion. Now backs against the wall into this round number 10. Optic at game point. A whole lot of aggression through the middle of the map.
Yeah, we're going to get ourselves a bloodbath here, although no one from Optic is watching the U-Haul. I mean, everyone's so focused on seeing if there was going to be a cut over towards the site that no one looked on the other side of U-Haul, maybe thinking that their defensive nades were going to hold it back. That's not the case. Kenny trying to get the one off the exit, does take down Nero, but nothing further, and we got around 11 all of a sudden.
That's just a complete blind counter right there, Alan. We're talking about, all right, we're going right up the middle. Also, we were ready for the push to come in towards A, but Vegas Legion, they went right up the middle and went through mid connector, and with those stuns connecting the way that they did, those are just a bunch of easy kills that they found right off the rip of that round. Hit that rotation over towards B, get it down. 1v3, you just gotta make sure Kenny doesn't make a miracle happen, but here we go, round 11. All tied up at first blood as well, 5-5.
Yep. And for the most part, both teams have converted nicely on their first blood, save just the 2 individual rounds for either team. But Optic on the offense. Got to go back to what seems to be their tried and true. Hits over towards A. This time, no defenders on site for Vegas. They've tried this a couple times before. Johnny's been smoked on this angle once, but he does have a little bit of help from Nero, and this time it's just all about read the information and see if we can contest this site from afar.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is that no one showing presence over towards that A site. You were banking on those tacks to play a big part in this round. But nothing is at least able to connect, and Kenny, unfortunately, might have just got some bad timing, or it could work out in his favor.
Yeah, it's really which side does the wind blow here, because he's going to find himself behind Nero. Quick trade, not fully there. Kenny gets an extra lease on life, at least for a little while. He also can transmit that there are at least 2 Vegas Legion members playing on the flank. So Dashy, alarm bell, start to ring, and Dashy gets himself another double. Just down to Johnny for 1v3. Fred, topside bar, seen for free. The biggest issue here is how do you deal with Dashy, who's going to be playing this, you would think, largely from security side. Here's the reload and the re-attack. Dashy steps up, finds the kill, and it's 3 in the round for Dashy. Credit to Kenny for at least the intel assist. And Optic, a deep sigh of relief from Pred. Sneak out a round 11 winner.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you would want it to be. But that's one hell of a practice map right there for Optic Texas to walk away with a clutch in the round 11. Just like Kenny every single time. He was always in one of those situations, being that island player, where he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's players from Vegas Legion all around him, but he was just able to slip behind enemy lines every single time that he needed to. He finds that initial kill, gives the information to Dashy that there's also 2 or more players coming on that flank, and then that allows Dashy to just activate takeover. He's the most clutch player that we have throughout the league whenever it's him by himself, but when he's getting those comms from his teammates, he's able to close out that game with 3 in that final round. Optic Texas tie the series up at 1. Not as clean as you wanted to, but you got the job done.
Yeah, on a map that they haven't played a bunch, I think there are definitely moments that you can look at for both teams and kind of walk away pretty okay with. Obviously, for Vegas, it's going to feel like a missed opportunity to take Optic to 11 and not find a way to win, especially considering how that last round unfolded. But we got a high-rise control, and then Vegas have their hardpoint selection of the Vista hardpoint still yet to come. So opportunities for Legion to keep this thing going, but for Optic, trying to look for a little bit of a bounce back from map number 1. We'll see how things unfold on high-rise when we come back right after this.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Scuff Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuff.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
Welcome back to our last matchup of the weekend. Optic taking on Vegas, and a 1-1 map count where Vegas fans are thrilled to have snapped the big winning streak that Optic put together on Subbase of all things, but gonna be a bit of a miss not having the round 11 on the 6-star search go their way. But now everything starts to go over that caption too much. Towards this control, we talk a lot about the life manipulation, but flat out, Optic have been great at finding objective success on control.
Oh yeah, Dashy and Kenny sitting at number 1 and number 2. Those guys are soaking up. Hill time, doesn't matter what it is. Tick time is because the SMGs are always being the aggressors, always trying to be pushed out. At least you got some players that are always thinking about that objective in Dashy and Kenny. We're now going into a high-rise control. This is where Optic Texas want to try to expand their map pool in this control game mode. They love themselves some invasion. They love themselves some Karachi, but they don't play really a lot of Karachi because a lot of teams do not want to square up with them on that map. So you're just going to try to add high-rise to the pool where they are great on both sides. The biggest thing that Vegas have to focus on here is keeping up with the slaying, because Optic Texas, they outslay on the defensive side, but on the attacking side, they only get outslayed by 0.3 kills. That's half of a kill. So you have to make sure the guns are firing the same way they were in map 1 if you're Vegas.
Well, opening nades will land. Shotzzy the first one to fall. And for Optic, you kind of saw the stat there on the macro side for the team. They have not won a round 5 on this map. That results in actually 3 different map losses since stage 3 has started for them on this map. So trying to come up icy in round 5 has been one of the reasons why this map has not been necessarily a full-on go-to. But hey, already a great start to this opening defense considering the early action from Vegas. No ticks to speak of yet for the Legion.
Yeah, Vegas Legion are just out working out of their spawn because Optic Texas are able to reinforce when they need to. But attach finding a double now allows his teammates another opportunity to work their way out of spawn. Fred now with the timing to potentially find a kill onto Geo. He's able to find it, but now you allow Vegas Legion to take B street control, slowly work up that progression at B.
Yeah, the thing is, this route from Pred could cut off a lot of these offensive reinforcements, and so far it has. Oh, just needed one more shot, but his teammates will get the trade, no worries. 1 tick of progress has been earned, but nothing more at the moment. Vegas will walk their way out of spawn, having found the trade onto Kenny, but still a lot of work to be done here for the Legion to try to stop this clock and get some more progress done.
Yeah, and they only have 30 seconds to do so. Shachi's just trying to at least spot a couple players, make sure no one slips on by. And now it's time to hit that go button. Gonna put himself behind enemy lines, gonna catch Johnny off guard, attach right off the spawn, knows that Shotzi is gonna be prepared for that gunfight. But the repositioning just way too much. He's just hoping that his teammates outside of the map can try to pause that game clock.
And so far, everything looking good for Optic. This is what you don't want to see if you're a Vegas fan. This is what they often will do, and Shotzi just maybe a bullet away from finding kill number 5, but just 1 tick of progress locked. Optic will be very happy about how that opening defense went.
Yeah, that's perfect. You only allow 1 segment to get away from you. Now you can make that up with these on your attacking rounds because they are 3rd overall on this map at average ticks on the attacking side. A lot of that is going to be due to Dashy and Kenny, but these guys are just laughing. They're having a good time, even though the series is tied at 1.
Convincing start. And hey, the vibes stay high, it feels like all the time, especially coming off of a major championship in the form of which you were able to win that grand finals. And we kind of talk about this, not to just throw it out there lightly. I mean, for Optic, these are extra reps. You know, I don't think any of the top, especially 3 teams, are really giving a darn hoot about who finishes 5th through 8. This is all about making sure that you're staying polished and you're staying clean, and so far so good. This opening offense also good looks over towards B. Geo seen at immense range, but Shotzi does get taken down. Johnny almost able to turn that into a double, but Optic still stay healthy on the zone with Dashy involved.
Yeah, they're already on this B point. They already have a lot of B street control, and they already completed that first segment at B. So you tied it up in that column, but they are slowly working up that progression on the 2nd tick now. Couple kills going in favor of Vegas Legion, though. And now Dashy's the soul man here on the point. He is going to fall, and this is the opportunity where Vegas Legion can right the wrongs over the previous round.
Clean stuff. They deplete almost the entire 2nd tick of progress. Trophy systems are also down to keep this defensive line forward. Johnny watching the big cross, able to see Pred through the fences, but cannot finish the kill. Optic struggle, but they get themselves out of spawn, and then that elimination onto Johnny may open the floodgates to get back over towards B again. Nero is so deep and far away from this hit that it really has to come down to Geo to hold this, and that won't work out. So now you got 1 member on, make it a 2nd with 1 more joining, and that's going to be not just the 2nd tick of progress, that's likely the entire B zone unless some of these nades land.
And that's what makes Optic Texas different than any other team on this attacking side. It's that it only takes them 1 opportunity when they go forward there to get out of their spawn, and they take full advantage of it. They're able to extend the time, get the final 2 seconds to close out that B point. And now you put yourself in a heavy advantage on this map with a couple kills already going in their favor. Kenny and Dashy combined for 2. Now Shotzi, your opportunity for some spawn kills.
Here we go again. Shotzi trying to get the read on where these spawners are coming. Attach will find him before any damage can be dealt. 16 plays 14. Life advantage to Vegas. Optic trying to find some control over towards Blue. Dashy desperately trying to hold on to his life in the previously captured B zone. But Vegas are just kind of more focused on what's coming from the front at the moment. They have actually a little bit lost track of where all Optic are. That's going to be essentially a full team wipe. Gio's so far out of the picture, he really has to wait for help. And oh, Shotzi nearly takes him out. And I believe the trophy system deleting a nade expires the propane tank, and that results in a double. And Vegas now 12-8 in lives with full control of the map.
Yeah, the propane is always going to play a part. Even if the update comes in and they say high-rise propanes are not going to play that big of a situation through these rounds, somehow, some way, it's able to find a double. All of Optic Texas now coming off the respawn. You give up full map control to Vegas Legion. 12-7 in lives remaining, and you can already see Gio working behind enemy lines.
And he will find Shotzi up top, who was going to be the observer over the top of that A zone, pending Optic could get there in the first place. Pred and Dashy now the last ones left. A couple of decent kills, keep maybe one last dire hope alive for Optic. Nero, the cutoff man, not going to find the kill. Johnny waiting for his time, and he reads it pretty darn perfectly. 8 plays 2. Shotzi seen over towards top B propane. And the question mark will be, where is Pred? And there he is. Not much of a chance for him to get back over towards the zone, but a little bit more damage towards lives, I guess. And of course, the 2-tick progression advantage that Optic were able to earn.
Yeah, thankfully, Vegas Legion played a 5v4 in that round because the propane had a clutch double to allow them to walk away with this defensive win. Because now they have 2 segments to make up for, but here goes the replay on this trophy. Propane. Yep, the trophy system definitely does stop it because a couple attacks get thrown off the respawns, and you just don't expect that if you are Optic. The fact that Pred stays alive in that scenario as well, right next to the propane, is mind-boggling.
I just can't believe that. It didn't look like it was smoking or anything. It just, the trophy system did that much damage, I guess. Yeah. Leave your opinions in the YouTube chat. First blood good for Johnny. Nero eyes towards A here, and he does find Kenny. So the clock will stall. Focus on to A for Vegas. A little bounce behind for Gio. Does he get a read on the Dashy? Sure does with that elimination. With Dashy, a little turn and burn drop shot reduces the play to Vegas to really only be Nero, who's gotten towards A windows.
Yeah, Nero's the only guy out. But unfortunately, he's now going to fall. So all of Vegas Legion now stuck back in their spawn again. Got to check every corner on your way on out. And it's just not going to be easy because Optic have all the crossfires set up. And Johnny finding that double. Nero right off the respawn, at least able to 5-1. Vegas Legion, another opportunity already working out of their base.
Kenny trying to get the low ground. Will come behind this play over towards bottom blue. Split focus for Vegas, by the way. Attach was looking over towards B. And so now all of a sudden, just as quickly as Vegas were able to turn things in their favor, Optic win every single individual gunfight, and they're back to within the spawn windows of Vegas. Decent kills. I mean, game of tug of war here. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. You find success, we find success. Back and forth we go, but the time is becoming an issue here for Vegas' offense.
Yeah, especially because they're applying a lot of pressure over towards that A Street side. It's not going to be easy because you know the attacks right off the respawn are going to be chucked over towards this propane area. You slowly have to work your way over towards B. You just don't have any B Street control. Finally, Johnny and Attach do combine for 2, but Pred and Kenny, they combine for 2 of their own to maintain the map control here for Optic Texas. You have Johnny, who's so far pushed out, but that objective is not getting done, and that's going to lead to 1 segment again for Vegas Legion. Optic Texas in the full advantage again.
Yeah, without question. I mean, they don't have to do anything in this next offense if they didn't want to and still find themselves on the round 5 defense here. So really clean here from Optic. But maybe the only lingering stat against them at the moment is that fact that they are 0-5 in round 5s. 3 of those have been recent as of the Major 3 qualifiers. So for Optic, see if you can get the job done here, I'd say.
Yeah, that requires them to lose a defensive side where they've only given up 2 segments. I think they're feeling good even if it gets to round number 5. But obviously you don't want to get there. You want to try to avoid that. You don't have any segments to play for. You're just going to try to get the win here. They show all out aggression over through bottom blue. Trophy systems are down. None of the attacks are going to hit for Vegas Legion. So that first segment already in.
Yeah, and Gio is just hopping, seeing how many members are actually here. Is this a little bit of a fake? Not quite. And nice little movement from Attach. Finds himself, too. Clears off the pressure on A, but the first tick of progress has already been completed. Help from Nero over the middle of the map. downtime bottom blue. That will work out, and Vegas defensively start to make their move forward. Pred will see one on the cross, waiting for his prime opportunity to try to come behind this play. Johnny, though, similar drop shot that we saw from Dashy, but there is at least a trade from Shotzzy, and Optic can still work their way out of spawn, at least until Nero scales forward, finds himself 2, and now Vegas are right at your spawn windows again.
Oh yeah, and if you are Vegas Legion, you have to try to combine a couple kills together. You can earn that cruise missile going forward. So that can play a big part on your next attacking round. Just don't give Optic any breathing room, and that's exactly what Geo is doing. Nero finds one on the Dashy, that's another 3 dead. Geo's just been holding down top heli the whole time. Fortunately, he is gonna fall, but Nero now finds himself on 5 in a row.
He needs to get out and just find one more elimination. That is the only game plan at the moment for Vegas. Nero holds onto the corner. Shotzzy seen, dealt with, and there's the extra cruise missile. 21 and 14, by the way, for Nero. Don't mean to make that sound so casual. He has been frying this map. And with the cruise missile now earned, Vegas, after a dominating defense to this point, I'm sure are feeling pretty decent about their opportunity to possibly get their offense going a little bit more. But this round not done yet. You got Fred on the zone. Nero from behind will get to kill number 7. And you'll also stop the second tick of progress from coming through. 20 plays 9. Optic trying to stay alive on the B zone, but will be bounced off. And it'll only be a matter of time here before we get to round 5 with the cruise missile for Vegas.
Yep, that's the biggest thing now. Is that Vegas Legion have a cruiser missile to work with on their attacking side. So good job from them to not allow any second missiles. Those don't even matter anymore. You have to figure out how you're going to get these objectives done. And I think if you are a Vegas Legion, it has to be all out pressure over towards B Street. They love right off the respawn, showing presence at bottom blue, trying to push out towards A to be a nuisance. But every single time Optic Texas find a couple kills over towards B Street, they turn their focus over towards blue, and then a 4 dead happens. You cannot afford that to be here for Vegas Legion. You have to find success early on at that B Street.
Need something somewhere. And I think you're absolutely right when it comes down to, let's concentrate our efforts on one zone, and maybe not even just one zone, just one area. Get some level of control before we even hit onto these zones, and there will be full focus over towards this B zone. Nero gonna hop right on into the mix. Geo able to find the first onto Shotzzy. Did they expect Dashy around the back though? They sure don't. First kill good for Dashy. Kenny from the front, good for another. Nero still keeping the streak alive, and the help from Vegas is decent. Can they stay on the zone though? That's the question. And Dashy continues just to do it all himself until Geo comes off spawn. And now you can reinforce the trophies. And Nero can keep on freaking frying. 25 and 14. Here comes the help onto the B zone.
That's Nero playing the hero right now for Vegas Legion. First segment already going to be done. But he's not in an opportunity to call in that cruiser, so he's gonna focus on keeping the guns hot. Unfortunately, the beat down, the hip fire, nothing was gonna connect onto Pred. You definitely want that one back, but they are working a progression on both points. Second segment about to be complete at B, and the first one at A.
Uh-oh, here we go. Third tick of progress. Looking good on the B zone. The stack is in. They're gonna get this quickly. You still have the cruise missile here. You still have Johnny on A. Here comes the cruise missile down. Optic will not be allowed to come contest this immediately. They're still gonna try to commit to it though. Gunfights start to go the way of Vegas. They know where Dashy is. Johnny pushes out for the kill. There's gonna be a stack here for Vegas. Second tick of progress is in. All 4 members are on. Can anyone from Optic get here in time? No, they cannot. And the round 5 curse for Optic on high rise continues, and Vegas steal away a map right under the nose of Optic.
Yeah, everything I said in that previous round about it not happening in Optic Texas. You're in the most ideal situation. You are on defense on high rise. You did everything on your defensive side, even on your attacking side, gaining the segments to put yourself on the defense in the round number 5. But Vegas Legion changed up the play call in that final round. Everyone's showing presence over towards B Street. Nero was the only guy through top mid, and he was able to slip behind to put himself right through the middle of the map at that B point, continue that streak at 10 before he did get shut down. But that was just way too much pressure, way too much aggression for Vegas Legion to start it off, and Optic Texas just couldn't get a read on it. They could not stand their ground on their setup. And Vegas Legion get it done. Like, that one's got to come back to bite you. Optic Texas, all right. That's not what you wanted. You wanted to walk away with this W to find yourself up 2-1. But now Vegas Legion, who are fighting for everything, map count, points in the CDL to try to make it a champs. They are up 2-1 in this series versus our Major 3 champions.
Unreal stuff. Nero gets 29, and if I did the math right quickly, between the offensive and defensive kills, I'm pretty sure Geo had 27. And of course, Johnny I think is the one left alive on A by himself. While the cruise missile's getting called and the 3-stack happens over towards B, he also comes away with, I think, 3 or 4 in a row. It's just when you need him the most, Vegas continue to turn up. What a display, though, from Nero. After a very miserable search and destroy, he says, brothers, I got you. The cruise missile gets earned. He goes on double-digit streaks. You thought for a second maybe it wasn't going to end until the beatdown just a little bit too wide. But it's just simply put, this play with the stack immediately followed up with the kills from Johnny lead to a 4-man stack. GG go next. Holy smokes.
And that is the first time I think I've ever seen Optic Texas be negative on a defensive side and in control in general. Because one thing that they're always great at is finding their kills. But based off of what we saw in map number 1, it's the same thing here in map number 3. The only player positive is Dashy at 19 and 18. But that's not going to cut it, man. You need your ARs. You need everyone to be firing on all cylinders. And unfortunately now they find themselves down 2-1 in this series going into a Vista HP where this is Vegas Legion's pick. This is going to be tough.
Yeah. I mean, in the history for Vista, has not necessarily been kind towards Optic, at least just generally speaking. Again, the amount of play times is relatively low. Can't look at it with too much concern, I would say. But, I mean, it's just the simple fact of what the recency looks like for this Vegas squad. They have looked undeniably better. Johnny has been fitting the mold exactly the way that they were looking at for Purge initially, a seam second. Johnny's fit that slot, it looks like seamlessly, and now we're starting to see the full potential of this Vegas team come to life. Regardless of, you know, I think there's gonna be a lot of people out there like Optic trying things, and sure, there is a level of that, but you can't take away with how good Vegas have looked at this point.
Not at all, because they only played 3 matches together with this team. So obviously the first one they bounced together versus Boston. You fall short versus Miami at the Major to get eliminated from that tournament. You come back home, you go up against a top 3 squad in Toronto, who are a top 3 squad for a reason. So Vegas Legion still had to work on their practice, try to iron out everything that was costing them in certain situations. And right now in this series versus Optic Texas, even though they're still smiling, that's not, you want to be smiling in this situation. Vegas Legion, they're coming to play. You got to be ready for this map number 4.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been one hell of a series to this point. For all, I think, the right reasons if you're just a general enjoyer and enthusiast of Call of Duty, but I mean, the drama that starts to kick up. We talked about this, at least you and I, when we were sitting in the green room. Every match is going to feel like a must-win for these teams that are on the bubble. And to be able to take 10 points at the hands of playing up against a top 4 team feels like you stole one away from the rest of the league. So here's our look at Vista. Talking about, again, this Optic team, not a ton of play time on it, but the times that they have blown out a couple of teams. I think the one that stands out in everyone's mind is that 250 to 86 on the Thieves, but the recency of them playing against Atlanta has a loss, but still, they play the map well. Vegas, this is their first try of it with this roster, though.
Yeah, this was going to be fun, man, because we saw it in map number 1. What they were ahead of is being ahead of those rotations every single time. So at least they're still strong in that category. But you have to find success also in breaks. Sitting at 12th overall is not going to cut it. But at least you spawn on the preferred side going into this P1. Just got to make these gunfights go in your favor. And Nero, not slowing down, finds a double. And already into the HP is Vegas.
And there's a lot of, I think, anticipation and potential excitement behind what Johnny and Nero can do as a sub-duo.
Oh, yeah.
It just frees up Attach and Geo to be like, all right, boys, you want to go hit this? Sure, we'll watch everything else. And the opener here for Vegas, pretty darn good. Couple of decent trades for Optic. They've mitigated some of the early time, but this second set of gunfights has been good. And now it's just down to, do they get the read onto Dashy? Geo for 3 in a row sure does. And Vegas will be good for the time, largely through P1. And look at the mini-map. Nero's already at rotation.
Yeah, they already win the rotation, but Optic Texas, they're rotating on the complete opposite side of the map, trying to overextend their way up through P3 side. Dashy and Shotzi combined for 2. Still trying to keep it stagnant through this mid P1, but now you're forced to break in towards Vegas Legion setup here at this P2 HP. You have Optic Texas not having the prepared spawns, but you do have Kenny trying to set up a route.
Yeah, this is individual plays right now. Nero just hoping he can get himself a 1-for-1, and he does better than that. Finds the kill, steps away, and allows the rest of Vegas to find a full team wipe. Trophy systems now reinforcing the defense of this hill, and Attach looking to stop maybe early rotators. Almost catches one, not quite to beat. Optic looking to follow up and hit this on both sides, but honestly speaking, this is coming up completely empty, and Vegas are going to find free scrap time, and they will control rotation to P3.
Yeah, I think Optic Texas is just playing a lot of individual COD right now. We're not simply outclassing you. That's another 4 dead. That's been 3 4 deads at 1 hill. You can just tell Optic Texas are not in sync right now, and Vegas Legion are taking full advantage of it.
A moment of reprieve here for Optic, making some success happen on the catwalk side. Pred's going to take the route down low, met by Nero, but not enough to find the kill. So Gio has to try to keep his life a little while longer. Vegas split spawns, but kills coming through individually across the map. It's Attach who's able to find a couple, keep himself alive, and maybe have hopes to block spawns, but Kenny gets the trade off screen. Gio will fall inside the hardpoint, and Optic will get nearly a full flip.
Yeah, that's a big break right there coming from Optic. Cannot allow this score to get away from you the way that map number 1 did, but if you're Vegas Legion, you already cut your losses. 2 players off the rotation in towards Graffiti are going to have their hands full because Optic Texas are surrounding them. Kenny and Shotzi take down both of those players, so they have an opportunity now to chain that P to the P4 and potentially take the lead.
Semtex will land from Johnny's hands onto Shotzi, but he'll stay alive. Hit through the old time on the way for Vegas. Dashy, the last one standing. Kenny at range, trying to pick up his cross as best as humanly possible. Pistol off for Dashy. Lots of connections, but not a full kill. Pred stepping back in, makes good on the damage dealt by Dashy. Plus the follow-up from Shotzi. Here we go. Optic looking a lot cleaner here on this left side minimap hold, and they're finding every single kill. Shotzi, Pred putting it all together.
And they know that the close ones are going to be in because Dashy, he was blocking that front side spawn for P4. So they got Arena where the pressure from Vegas Legion was going to be approached on. But now with Optic still in control of the spawns, at least the hill for now. Vegas Legion, they bombard their way all through that P3 hill, able to flip the spawns right on back, and this is still a good 25 seconds they can try to fight for.
Yeah, for the moment, Vegas is trying to keep the hardpoint neutral. Shotzi jumping on in, Kenny watching from overhead, and now jumps in his own right. Turns, finds the kill onto Attach, and that will confirm the scrap time. And with that being largely held all the way through, if it is, it'll be a lead swap as well. Optic really starting to turn up here in these last 2 hills.
Exactly what they needed to do to get themselves back into this game. Now Vegas Legion again off the rotation are fully going to be set up. You have everyone watching a proper angle, but Attach falling in his position now gives an opportunity for Kenny to potentially set up that pinch. He allows Preds to find that kill, and now all of Vegas Legion are not on the preferred side, but they are still holding on to the hill.
Yeah, just Dashy has to play his life as much as he possibly can. Follow up good from Nero, takes care of him quickly. Not going to be able to turn that into a double. Gio just getting bombarded by stuns and nades. Johnny also feeling the effect of a lot of that incoming utility, and that will be largely a full clear here from Texas. Just have to deal with Gio. A much better series from him to this point, but this is going to be just too much for him to deal with. An Optic will secure a break. Still 23 seconds to fight for.
And now if you're Vegas Legion, you have to try to cut your losses because you know how impactful that P5 to P1 chain can be. So a route early on trying to be hit by Attach, but he gets killed by the player and Kenny coming off of the respawn. So all your bases again covered for Optic Texas. Still a 20-point difference in this map number 4. But if you are Vegas Legion, you can't attach from the bridge side. Someone has to try to flip. You have to try to hit a route.
Good damage from Attach, though. Just pelting the members of Optic inside of P1. Long route from Johnny, as you called. Gio waiting for the timing to hit from the front, and here comes the flood. Nero able to find one from the mid-map, and now everyone can just dive on into the hard point. That is just such a freaking good setup, and the timing is perfect. This Vegas team looks brand spanking new.
Unfortunately, the spawns do not flip, so Optic Texas still giving themselves another opportunity to break their way in towards P1. You have top mid control, you just got to get past Gio. Dashy there for the effective trade. And now it's Nero again, trying to get it done. Unfortunate team kill onto Johnny with that trophy system, but he's still not going to slow down, even finds it with the Renetti before dropping.
Now Shotzi holds his life. Vegas still in the hard point for this time being. Optic working on it, though, and Shotzi, his patience will pan out. Johnny looking for something through the catwalk side. Gets stunned off the jump, though, so now he's going to just default to playing for the long wrap. Kind of giving whatever he possibly can, considering the circumstances. But Optic will have a lot of freedom and a huge buffer around this P2 hardpoint.
And they're going to have an opportunity now to finally get a lead change. As Optic Texas is now in full control of this P2. Vegas Legion, your turn again. Someone to try to make an opening happen. Gio through the middle of the map, unfortunately does get cut down. Shotzi watching the flank, takes down Attach. Dashy from the front end takes down Nero, and that's a clean 3 dead. Final player is Johnny, he falls, and Optic Texas hold on to the first push.
Yeah, Vegas getting staggered a bit. Optic starting to put it together as we jump over to an Optic Texas. Listen in.
Look, you guys want me to watch out pillars and watch out their middle as well.
Either mid.
Get a picture spot.
Mid.
Nice, I front, I guess.
Flash this side, dead.
Cat, Johnny, now weak. Watch out. Nice, Gio, last guy.
Low.
Good job. Nice. Good shit, bro. What you gonna do, Brandon? We're coming right. Look at me. I'm gonna hit lower. We're playing the right, but you can cut behind this. That's big.
Hey, you right.
Still lower than me. No. There's spikes on these kills. Still lower than me.
Cutting blinds.
One shot back right, attach. He's lower, one shot, attach. He's in the back. They're not even on top.
Go in there. He went to the
One guy's back steps.
He's back behind the wall, behind the wall. Don't trap me behind the wall, bro.
I hear you.
Nade him. He's naded, one shot.
I'm waiting for him. He's in that. Yes,
Steps.
Absolute time, Jeff.
One's late, bro. Nero in the back.
Absolute G on time.
Live. There you go. Watch out, pinch left, bro. Lucky. They got mid or no?
He's at the steps.
He's only mid. Johnny, weak. Counter, Johnny. Nice, Johnny.
Behind the bar right now.
Let's do that.
I'm standing with time. How's on time?
They're gonna flip pillars. They're not flipping.
I can play for the flip here.
Alright, that's fine.
I'm playing low up.
Pillars on it. I'm rolling you, Brandon.
Low. Back steps.
I have back right. Most pillars, pillars.
I'm sliding up pillars.
You should be spawning out.
This guy low's not coming, bro.
You went back six steps.
Hey, one's two in the back of me, bro.
Six lines.
Back.
Listen, one's back right.
One spawn, you keep pitch our fire.
Have a low.
One got pinch rails.
In the back, bro. Going low. Alright, Nero.
I'm in.
Nice. Nero's back right, Nero. They're still spawning there. Listen, they're all spawning there still. Oh, they're spawning. They might spawn out.
Jump hills.
I'm in tower. I'm front tower stairs. Give me a second.
Nothing back secret. I'm with you. Let's try this out.
What's back right time, John?
Back down. In front of me. In front of me.
He can re-pinch the back.
Idiot. One shot,
One got pinch pillars.
Nice, they're in the back. And on top.
Absolute.
Nice, good shit. Nice shot. They're in front of you. Bot top.
I'm gonna give tower.
I can push. On top, Johnny. One shot down. Absolute down.
Play for him.
Or Johnny. He's one shot. Absolute front down.
Make it a play. One more mid, okay?
They're down.
I'm shooting, bro. We're good. One more mid.
Last guy near.
Watch our
He was
pinch.
mid. He's house, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, he could have pitched in.
You went pitch.
That's him. He's really good. He's hitting it. Pillars.
Pillars?
I'm already top of it.
One tower steps.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the awareness for Optic on this push through 3 into 4 has been solid, and Pred hitting these small little routes, going completely unguarded. Vegas have been having a hard time tracking him down, looking for kill number 6 for the Cruise shut down. A lifeline for Vegas, but it's going to feel desperate.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough situation now because now you're going into this P5. You're currently down by 50. You have to make this hold count, and for a lot of time as well. And they're putting themselves in a really good setup so far. You have all the P1 control. You add the overextension as well. So that's 3 dead. Make it all 4. Optic Text, that first push gets shut down, and Vegas Legion continue to run up that score.
Shotzzy trying to run into the hard point, though. Catches one, gets out of there. Geo with the trade, but here come the rest of Optic. Need help from attach from up high. Pred down low, trying to work the hard point. Does well. But Vegas have numbers to try to work their way back in. Again, just trying to utilize this top catwalk as best as possible, but every second is becoming a dangerous one for Vegas. Pred dealt with Dashy, the last one left alive, but he's far out. Geo gets the damage done, and Dashy just has to hit the deck, and that'll be extra time for Vegas to get over 200 points.
Now, if you are Optic Texas, you got to give up this time. You got to make sure no one from Vegas Legion is going to be able to slip behind enemy lines and potentially flip these spawns out. Oh. That's exactly what Johnny is trying to do, but Dashy with the beams, all headshots. Guy basically is using a sniper with that MCW after that buff. But Optic Texas, they are into this P1. Only 15 seconds until they force game 5.
Bruce goes Goliath mode. Still not done. Dashy on 6 in a row. How has he been able to finesse this? Looking for kill number 7. Stun him, nade him, do whatever you want. He's still alive. Trophy system back in, but Vegas, they get the wipe. Just Kenny left to do. Oh! Too much. A little extra as well. As Dashy and Kenny go crazy in the last couple of moments to get Optic to a 5th map.
That's unbelievable plays right there out of Optic. Obviously, you don't want these Hardpoints to be as close as they are, but Vegas Legion, they are fighting all the way to the very end. At least Optic Texas, they could rely on that P3 to P4 chain, because that's exactly what kept them in this game. First rotation, that's how they got back into it. Second rotation, that's how they grew themselves such a great lead, to where they can keep P5 a little bit scrappy. But when you need someone to call a game, you ask Dashy, who he simply does not miss bullets. He's happy as hell that MCW buff came in, but then the closing moments, that was Kenny's opportunity to find 3. Close out this map number 4, and now go to a game 5 in Karachi Search and Destroy. Well, I know Optic Texas, they're feeling themselves, because Karachi has always been a great search and destroy for them, but they haven't played it in quite some time. And then the opposite side for Vegas Legion, they have yet to spawn on Karachi Search and Destroy with this squad. So game 5 should be really fun.
should be a really good one. I don't know if we're gonna get the last 20 seconds or so of what just happened on that Vista hardpoint, but I mean, that is immaculate from Dashy. The 2 gunfights he takes over the top of P5 at range, at low HP, turns that into rotation win into P1, and then pistol control at the desk. That's next level gameplay. And of course, Ketty with the exclamation point to finish. But still, the fact of the matter is, we have to go 5. I mean, not a lot of people had this one out there. And a Karachi search, you already started to talk about. This is a, you know, interesting map to say the least when it comes down to it for both these 2 teams.
Yeah, this one's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait to get into Karachi Search and Destroy because it's gonna be all about the playmakers, Shotzi v Johnny, who's gonna be more aggressive up to the map. Can't wait for that game 5 to be in our hands.
It's going to be a good one. Optic have not played it in a while. Last time they did, it was a loss to Toronto.
Yep.
So they've got some work to be done. Again, testing the Search and Destroy map pool just a touch. Will that give Vegas a chance to steal away 10 points, it's going to feel like, from the rest of the teams on the bubble? We'll find out with Karachi waiting for us in map 5 at the backside of the break.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The Champs Tracer Pack is available now. The bundle includes the Reaper Operator skin, Ripper Weapon Blueprint, Death Stare Weapon Blueprint, Cuts Deep Charm, 2 calling cards, 2 emblems, and 2 weapon stickers. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in store now using Call of Duty points.
Start the season strong with the Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL Operator, Weapon Blueprint, and so much more. Check out the Call of Duty store in-game now.
Welcome back to Optic versus Vegas. Certified banger. No one had that on their schedule, I don't think. But here is the final moment where Dashy, I don't know how he gets the kills that he does from that position. And then off the regen, how about a couple more? Reads the shadow for the pistol. Off the reload, he's good for another trade. And then, of course, Kenny puts it away here, Jay.
Yeah, Kenny puts it away, but Dashy is the enforcer. The fact that he's able to walk in with the MCW, find a couple kills, not even need to invest that cruiser missile because you know the game was very down to the wire. He's always going to get it done with the gunny, and then you allow your second AR player in Kenny to call game with the final 3. But that all falls into the hands of Dashy. If Dashy falls without finding at least one, well, he found one of those kills. If he doesn't find the second onto Geo, then it's the numbers advantage in favor of Vegas. They're going to win the rotation over towards P1. Gets a lot more scary. But the fact that this young man shoots the way that he does, he bails Optic out of certain scenarios, and that was one right there on full display. But this series is yet to be over. Into the game 5 we go. Where said it before the break, Vegas Legion have yet to play this with this roster, and Optic Techs, they haven't played this map in a really long time.
It's just wild to think that Dashy went from being framed up in the last, well, say the first 3 months of this game as the Hill Kitten to the King of Clutch. He's been unbelievable for this Optic squad. Ooh, late nade just kind of trickles over towards Tire's side. That does tag up onto Kenny, but Shotzzy still gets the top third and finds first blood onto Johnny.
Yeah, it's a big kill onto Johnny. He was trying to make an individual play. Take a page out of Shotzi's book to get behind enemy lines in the first 15 seconds, but first blood in favor of Optic. Kenny finds a second Geo there for the trade, but numbers advantage now allows you to work this objective.
Should be good for a plant. Nero looking to make a play, gets the smoke out, tries to cut through, does not find the kill. Oh, and the bomb gets planted, and more importantly, another kill's been tallied behind this. Heck of a try from Nero, but yeah, after the first blood, Optic just do not give away the high ground whatsoever.
And I love how they didn't show presence through the middle of the map as well. They waited out the nades over towards that coop side, even though Kenny did catch one to the chin. You're just thinking right there, if you're Vegas, no presence through mid, the nades are not connecting over towards B, so they have to potentially be going over towards red. But Shotzi finds that timing onto Johnny for the first blood. Kenny immediately finds that second kill, and then they just keep the numbers in their favor. Once Nero invests that smoke grenade and then doesn't find that kill, yeah, that's what hell looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-man break off here. Everyone in lockstep for Vegas, making their play over towards market side. Lots of nades cinematically shown over the top of the B side, but Fred still gets up the ladder and gets the top third. Unreal stuff, and that's an unreal statistic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been a year and change. Fred, good information, but can't make use of it for a first blood, but Shotzi deep into your spawn will convert for another first blood.
And now all of Vegas Legion are trapped. You can't try to work back through your spawn. At least you find that kill onto Shotzi, but Dashy and Kenny were at least in a position to watch over his teammates off this rotation. As now they have the numbers advantage. Dashy in that position, 2 top red. Should be able to get a little bit of info that this is where the play's coming in.
Well, this is interesting. Nero, the bomb carrier. Oh my God! What? I mean, Attach has him dead to rights. First 3 shots are in and Dashy just blows him out of the water. So now it's all down to Nero once again. First one clean, second one tallied. Can he step away enough from Dashy? Again, the king of clutch. Top of our clutch leaderboards for 1v1s and 1v2s. And that smoke doesn't fully encompass Nero, but he'll be safe enough to plant.
Yeah, the bomb's gonna go down and Dashy is at least gonna be able to spot him off of the exit. So now how does he decide to play this? Nero could not have gone that far away from this site, but the repositioning might be too strong.
Nero, Spidey sense tingling. Yeah, reads it onto Dashy. And a 1 versus 3 for Nero. I mean, it looked like Dashy should have been dead to rights in much more anticlimactic fashion. Absolutely smokes Attached, but Nero responds maybe more so. And what a round for Nero.
Yeah, the fact that he's able to find that first kill was easy, but the second kill right here onto Pred. Don't know if he has a rival 9 or an MCW in hand, but Nero, you can always rely on him to be ready for those gunfights. Clutches up in the 1v3. He said, Dashy, you're the king of clutch. No, I'm going to strip that away from you here as they tie the game about 1.
We asked the question, this you and I kind of in between each other, how creative was Vegas going to be able to get on a map like Karachi with a new roster, having not played it yet before? And we were wondering, would it be Nero or would it be Johnny that tries to get aggressive? And so far, on a couple of defenses, it's been Johnny. He will find first blood, but does get traded back and forth. We go. Early exchanges give us to an early 2v2.
Yeah, but look at the space that Gio was able to take. He's already working himself behind that top 3-story positioning. And not a single player from Optic Texas are going to be aware of this. So this should be a free kill for Gio. Should be able to put his team in a numbers advantage in the 2v1. And at the same time, that bomb is going down. You know exactly where that next guy is.
Yeah, Gio not even bothering, though, playing for the high ground. He just wants to join his teammate in Nero. And they're going to try to work this a little bit more together, trying to isolate the high ground, it looks like, first, which is where Kenny is positioned at the moment. But smoke will come out. Kenny will keep his focus over towards this barrel cross. Has not seen Nero yet. Drops off the high ground, and Nero gets the read. I don't know if Gio saw him on the hop or not, but another snap comes through, and Nero has been Mr. Game 5 for Vegas.
He's just taking over when his team needs him to the most. He is finding his opportunity to answer the call, as that now puts him on 5 in a row. Big next round coming in for Nero, if he could potentially earn himself that cruise missile. But it was Johnny who starts up with that first blood. You keep it real crazy over towards that B site. And then you allow the rest of Vegas, who were on a 2-2 split on a defensive setup, to reposition their way up to the map to keep the numbers in their favor. And the fact that G was able to slip behind enemy lines in that one play, that's what needed to get done for Vegas Legion to now be up 2-1. They're going to lead the objective in the spawn. They're more focused on, can we get Nero this kill?
Yeah, this is all about getting Nero number 6. He sees Shotzi over towards red. No hit markers. Nade not cooked either, so Shotzi should be able to back away from this, no problem. Johnny, though, gets extra forward over towards the apartments. And now all of a sudden, Vegas have some deep mid-map control. And even though you don't get the cruise, hey, you got Johnny in a pivotal spot, and you can use him as a pivot point.
And this is what we talked about before this map started. The playmakers on the side of Vegas Legion, both being the SMG guys, would love to play this Karachi S&D the same exact way. They've been trading effectively in that first blood column. But Johnny now puts his team in the man advantage. Shotzi trying to at least gain the info, but he's going to back down to try to play his life. And he's also able to take down Nero. Big kill.
Yeah, smoke just to keep himself alive a little while longer. Kenny, big 1v1 versus Johnny over towards front side chops. Gio up top, only good for one. Pred right there to at least confirm the trade. Shotzi, top high ground, attach in trouble, trying to sneak away. Also gets the read over towards Pred. He knows that his lease on life is coming to an end. And, well, rent is collected by Optic. They find the kill, and they counter back. Another 3v4. They've been really solid at least trying to work this in odd man number situations.
Yeah, and that's one of those rounds right there for Vegas Legion. You want that one back. You found that
100%.
first blood. You already put yourself in a position through Fountain. All we have to do is work that objective. But they were just taking too long, and that was due to the fact that Shotzi was jumping up the ladder, showing presence at AC, was a little bit presence towards top Fountain as well. He was just all over the map, not allowing that objective to get planted. And unfortunately, Vegas Legion do not earn a cruise missile. They do not find success in that round. So now back to the reset, all tied up at 2.
Johnny's still looking to stay aggressive, though. We'll get over towards the concrete barriers underneath the scaffoldings that be. Gio up top. Oh, and he's going to get played out. Yeah, Shotzi, as soon as he gets that information, no worries on that challenge. Now this is a little bit more of a dicey one, as Attach will make sure he can confirm the kill before the smoke gets placed. And Kenny also gets the read on a Johnny, who thought about it, but then thought the better of it. Meanwhile, though, again, I mean, this is just LV looking like they're getting a little bit too loosey. Lots of individual pushes coming through, and oh, well, for a time, putting together the individual gunfight wins until Johnny has something to say about it.
Yeah, they had Johnny isolated over towards this bridge side, but no one could effectively trade him. So now Pred, who was the island player that started off, unfortunately is left by himself. And Vegas Legion stands strong on the defensive side on the back of Johnny, whose positioning was gained early on when Kenny throws that shoulder. They knew that he had to play over towards that bridge side. They just didn't go for the 2-on-1 chow. They went for both individual gunfights, and Johnny just makes him pay for it. Great shots with that rival on for the first. Hits the reload, catches the timing, knowing that the trade has to be there for Optic Texas to stand a chance. And that young man is making plays happen right there for Vegas Legion to take the advantage back to them.
3-2 tally. Vegas, the bomb now out of spawn, maybe for the first time, looking to not get super aggressive anywhere. Although I say that, and Johnny has already made his way up towards top red by the single window room. Optic close by, timing here, good for Johnny. Now on 3 in a row, first blood once again, but Optic are not moving their defense over. They still have Pred nearby, so they're saying we can still keep 2 members towards B.
Yeah, you gotta still show presence at that B point, but Johnny single-handedly is now gonna force a potential rotation to come in for Optic, but they've already gotten to read it. This is where the play is gonna come in. You find that kill on to Nero, but now it's Dashy left in the 1v3. Bomb is gonna be down at that B site, but this is not gonna be easy.
He's been seen and also tagged. Stun will come through, and Vegas will not bother with the chase. They'll just play off the objective and force a clock to be an enemy here for Dashy in this 1v3. Hatch sees him topside red. Johnny catches him with a pistol out. No worries there, and my goodness, Johnny, Nero, both. It starts off with all Nero. Lately, it's been all Johnny. And Vegas find themselves a bit of a cushion now all of a sudden map 5.
Yeah, that's all an individual play on the hands of Johnny. The fact that he was the island player slowly working his way over towards red side, catch that timing onto Shotzzy for that initial kill. But then the snap onto Pred put his team in the heavy advantage in the 4v2. Just makes those plays happen. Now I'm pretty sure he finds himself on 5 in a row. Again in the search and destroy. We're all tied up in that first blood column. But another opportunity where Vegas Legion can try to earn a cruise missile. This time you got to make it count.
Yeah, opening nades for the defense of Vegas, all over towards market. Optic throwing some of their own. No one gonna get extra forward here, but Johnny on 5 is just gonna wait for Geo to give him a little bit of information and then try to pop up and find kill number 6. But Attach will find first blood. That's actually onto Kenny deep over towards top mid window. Johnny sees another opponent, but can't make much use of it, so he'll stay down and still covered. We have a 4v3.
And that objective is still yet to get planted for Optic because they know that they do not have the numbers advantage. When I have everyone with their guns up. In this situation, there's now 45 seconds left. You don't have an opportunity to hit that rotation, but they isolate Johnny. Another cruise missile not going to be earned on the side of Vegas Legion. Now that objective has to start getting down.
Oh, but Geo gunning. Shotzzy may have been seen over the top of the bomb site. Yeah, Attach gives that information. A couple of tags are in, but not going to work out. Dashy, oh, good prediction onto Geo. Makes this more manageable, but Dashy's being hunted, and he knows it. Dashy, oh my goodness, he gets himself a second. His job's done, and then Shotzzy from halfway across the map barely misses a rival 9 shot to put the round out of reach. It's off the simple fact that he even gives the notion that Johnny's hiding in that off angle in the first place, and then these shots to Nero to finish off the round. Unbelievable bookends to round number 8.
Yeah, that's a great kill to start it off from Shotzzy, but that's better comms coming in from Dashy because he gets it done in the communication. He also gets it done with the Renetti and the MCW. Somehow, some way, the King of Clutch is still giving his team opportunities to clutch up on these rounds. Sets up Shotzzy to shut down Johnny off earning that cruise, finds a double through the middle of the map, then once it turns into a one-on-one, Shotzzy with great shots out of that rival 9. Able to secure the 3v4 clutch for Optic Texas. Back to the defensive side they go, and finally Vegas Legion a little bit different on their attacking side. Yeah. A whole lot of aggression over towards A. That bomb is already going to get planted, but no, that stun is going to connect from Kenny, and unfortunately he's going to drop.
Yeah, as with to say, these late nades from Vegas through mid have kept this defense for Optic not on the rotation, but Dashy's still alive. That might be enough. Bomb planted, 2v4. Shotzzy and Dashy off the regen, working this together from the top side at red. Unsure if there's a lurker still involved. Have to worry about where Attach is at. That's the one that usually likes to stay a little bit more on the rogue side. Smoke down for Nero. Shotzzy trying to clear backside office. Slides through, barely makes a footstep. Oh my, Shotzzy good inside bottom red. But with Dashy falling, this becomes a bit more unmanageable, and he's just gonna try to hop it. Geo, do you get here in time to check? Sure does. And Vegas will find themselves on series point.
And I thought Optic Texas, they were ready for that push because that bomb was instantly getting planted for Vegas Legion, but a stun is able to connect over the top to slow down that progression. But then Kenny just stuck in that positioning, does get picked off, and then you're forcing all the players who love to play defense over at that B site to hit that rotation. But that bomb already gets down for Vegas. They keep themselves in the number advantage. They do not allow Dashy to make a great play off that repinch at red. And now they found themselves at gate point.
Oh my goodness. I don't think anyone would have expected this.
Hell no.
Went to 5. Johnny tagged with the trophy system largely mitigates some of the damage, and he's going to have now an AR posted up on the bridge staircase looking for players top third. Sees Shotzzy, decent damage, but Shotzzy keeps his life, smokes himself out, but more information gathered as a couple of fadeaway shots happen from Optic, trying to find the kill into Johnny.
They're trying to find the kill on a Johnny, but shots, he does get picked off. He was popping smokes at his feet, just trying to play his life to the best that he can, but now Optic Texas forced a clutch with another 3v4 scenario. You have Pred, who was the initial island player, over towards red. He gets taken off, and now it's Kenny and Dashty to try to clutch up.
Nero off the cheeky off angle, playing topside bus station. Gets a read that there is a crossover towards the A site. Keeps his life. Help from Geo down low. Optic looking for a plant. That might be their lifeline here. Nades being tossed over towards the A zone. Not a lot of them hitting, but a full surround here. I mean, Optic are fish in a barrel. Dashy, last one left. Optic will drop. Vegas do what seemed to be the impossible. Take down Optic. They take advantage of 2 search and destroy maps that Optic have not played a lot as of lately. And the new guy in Johnny has given rejuvenation to the Vegas Legion, and now they find themselves in a 3-way tie at 120 points with Minnesota and Carolina.
That is unbelievable work right there out of Vegas. They knew that their Major IV qualifying matches is not going to be easy. You got to play 3 out of the 4 top teams to start this one off. You fell short versus Toronto. But versus Optic Texas, you come out initially to start the series and basically punch them right in the face. We're talking about a sub-base HP where Optic Texas was sitting at 11-0. They got blown out in that map number 1. And then, obviously, if you're Vegas Legion, you would have wished you would have got that game 2, the 6-5 to go in your favor, because you would have walked away with a clean 3-0. But the respawns, they came to play all day long. The insane clutch on that high rise on the attacking side was unbelievable. But when you get to this game 5, we had the conversation before even loading into it that there were a lot of playmakers on the side of Vegas Legion, especially with SMGs in their hand. Johnny loves to be aggressive. Nero loves to be aggressive. And when those guys had those moments early on